why on earth would you not do a cornucopias video once a week when you can show this, when you can make thumbnails of this, when you can talk about this world? And I'll tell you what, if to the content creators that were questioning whether or not Cornucopias is actually a AAA rated game, I beg them to come look at this right now and doubt it. Doubt it for 1 second that this is anything other than the one of the best, if not the best game being developed right now in all of Web3. Welcome to Around the Corn, presented by the Knights Guild. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, because getting the likes and subscriptions is the best part of our day. If you want to hear us speculate wildly on something in-game, throw your questions in the comment, and next episode we'll pretend to know the answer. Follow us in the Knights Guild on X. You can also learn a ton about the Knights Guild on Discord and the Guild website. All the links you need are in the description. I'm your host, Faux Hubris. As always, I'm joined by the man whose mom loves him so much she celebrates him on Mother's Day, Eddy Z.
Hey, no offense to all the moms.
She loves you so much on Mother's Day she celebrates you, buddy. I bet. I know it's true.
No. I love my mom. Happy Mother's Day, by the way.
Happy Mother's Day. I know we're recording this on a Sunday, so it is still Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Eddy, we had a huge Kopi Cafe today. That's why we're here in Solace.
Yes. Oh, man. I am so pumped with what I saw with Solace. It looks so amazing.
Yeah, so I think today, I don't even want to be in the game right now. I want to just rewatch that clip with you, and let's talk about like what we see, what we're thinking about. Put it on mute, and we'll see where the conversation takes us. But let's just watch that today.
Oh, man, for sure.
All right, Eddy, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, golly, just looking at it, it just seems infinite, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's so amazing. All in one look. Oh, my crazy to think how many you are walking around and building things around here to influence the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, man. You can, you just see the mountains off in the distance. It's just crazy. Look at the top. And this is our first look at Solace 3 too, right? Like, I think it's a little bit more long grass, kind of like a little bit more open, but with these canyons, it's a little bit more airy.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, I'm also curious how far how far can you see? What's your depth of load? Because in terms of like when you can see, how far can you see a player like coming up to you? Like, because there is a distance to that, like with certain games, like they won't load up until you get to a certain distance away from them, whether it be like 100 yards or meters. So yeah, I'm curious about that as well. Like, could you see someone right at the top of the mountain up there?
What's this backpack she has on here? Like, is that something we have access to yet?
Oh yeah, I found that one. It was.
You did?
I think my guy's wearing it.
Whatever. You get all the cool
no,
stuff.
They're just out there. They're out there.
Oh, look at this. I mean, it's just like you want to like inspect every blade of grass. It's so crazy.
The cool thing I was looking at, I think things are, if I'm not crazy, things are like swaying, like wind.
Yeah, it does. Wind, it does right? Definitely. The grass looks like it's moving in the wind.
Moving in the wind, right?
When she's done with warp speed, let's see if we can see what are these purple flowers doing? Is there any sway to them? Slow down. I want to see.
Yeah, everything looks.
They look like they're moving. They do.
Everything looks so natural. That's what's so impressive. Yeah. Like, I compare this to a game like GTA or something that has such a massive world, and this looks incredible.
I think the gold standard for a wilderness and like open world is Red Dead, and
that's true. That too.
And this blows it out of the water. I mean, it
looks almost similar in terms of like the quality, if not like better.
Yeah.
I mean, there's insane. Congrats to the devs. Like, this is a major feat.
I love when they're talking about how like every piece of land that you see has been touched by like one of the art developers, that it's not been, you know, just like reproduced.
This is incredible. And to think like this is, I think they were saying like they were going to be placing the plots in areas and, to,
Look at the water there.
yeah, look at that. Oh, in certain areas, that's, I think he says he goes through an area where there's going to be plots, right?
Yeah. I don't, I mean, we have it muted, so I'm not sure where that is, but I do, oh god, look at the changing color of the grass. I mean, whatever. He I do remember him saying that they had their guys watching like YouTube videos on geology and like
Mm-hmm.
to like maybe topography or something,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's just it, when the land changes. It seems natural when it goes like more yellow to more green. Like here they are down in the canyon where it's more yellow, and it's like, yeah, look at these trees. They're kind of a little bit like, and then it get greener the higher up you go. That's just, I mean, that's so perfect.
Yeah, and one of the things also that I was amazed is how much they've done. Right, like one thing that I remember when it came down to a game like Pal World was, wow, only like a few. I think it was like what 10 people or a dozen people created Pal World, and such a vast world that they created was. I was like, wow, and it looks really good. But this is like at another level. You're getting texture.
Yeah.
You're getting so much more, and to that same degree of grandness and vastness. It's I'm so impressed as to the quality of what the environment looks like. I'm curious how much influence and how much like a player can manipulate, like how much if they can excavate or dirt, collect dirt or
Yeah. How much does the
terraform
land
the
change?
area. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
curious how much of that is can you to use a dynamite to blow up a certain amount of it? Like I'm curious. Probably not because it's there's going to be 3 zones of the same. But I'm curious how all that works. And like for example, chopping down a tree. Okay, does how long is that tree gone for, or does it respawn, or is there a growth like path in terms of like 5 stages of growth? Like some games do as well. Like for it to be a fully grown tree where you can chop it down again.
Yeah. I would love to chop down a tree and then see it take 2 years to grow back.
Oh man,
Like
holy
like
hell!
like you see it slowly growing. Like I think that would be for me the most ideal. I mean, like, maybe that's not the best way to like have a game, right? But for me, like for realistic reasons, I think that would just be so cool. Cuz like then when you go in that area and then you come back and you're like, there's the tree that I shot, the little sapling, it's growing. And so I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, there'd be like a deforestation problem in Cornucopia. So everybody chopping wood, trying to make their homes, and
Right.
it's
It's probably not realistic, but it's interesting. One thing that I remember from the Kopi Cafe that I thought was really interesting is, when you're playing like a game and, when you're playing a game and it's like you can't climb on something, or there's like a rock wall and you're like, can I get up there? And you're trying to get up there. David said that there's almost nowhere on here that is not somewhere where your character can go. Like if you see it, you can find a way up there. You can find a way to it.
hmm
I, which makes an already humongous world even bigger.
yeah, because you also have to think about the verticality of it, right? So it's just how
Yeah.
far up you can go into the snowy mountains, which I'm expect that has to be one of the worlds in the future to like make some sort of like a winter
Mm.
full snow Arctic area. That'd be
Or it may
cool.
be it may be everywhere in the wintertime. Like, I mean, they're talking about seasonality,
Seasons, right?
right?
Yeah, so true. Oh, yeah, that too. They could also be in here that's just going to go through seasons as well.
I wonder if resources in the winter are going to be more expensive than in the summer because of that. Like, because like things aren't growing and it's harder to maybe to grow crops.
Yeah, I can see that, man, for sure. It's all about demand too. So, and if it's scarce, for sure. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's give you a reason to kind of like hoard stuff in the best of times so you can sell it in the worst of
right,
times.
exactly.
Man, that's crazy. Look at this trail he's on.
Just mesmerized by all this. And then there's going to be like mounts they mentioned, and like hoverboards and ways to
Mhm.
travel on the surface.
It's not going to be vehicle like. So one thing they said is you can take your vehicles and you fly up underneath the dome,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go into different areas of the dome. But you're not going to be able to take your T3 in here, right? Like
No,
you need to switch to your hoverboard or something.
right. There's none of
Whoa,
that is
look at
allowed.
this view right here, Eddie. Look at this.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
Oh my
Look how
goodness.
insane this looks. It's like I'm starting to think, where are these home plots, or where are these land plots located? Because like this looks like an area that there's going to be land plots around this
Like
area.
get one right down there by that watering hole. I
Yeah,
mean, good gosh.
and it goes back to like the districts and how they're going to look. Like this is Solace 2. I think they mentioned that this
Yeah,
is Solace
yeah.
2.
So it's a little bit greener, a little bit more open plains, less rocky, maybe.
And you can probably show up the image on how they're going to be how they look at how the districts are going to be laid out. But it looks so cool. And I'm just trying to think of how that goes actually in terms of all those the districts and how they're going to be laid out. I'm kind of curious how
Yeah,
that works.
I'm gonna maybe next episode we'll do a deep dive on districts because I like to refresh. Look at this open plain here though, and up to the mountains with the clouds. My God,
Look at that. This is
Jesus!
so crazy. And it's
I
just
was
the fact that you can literally keep going and walk up there and get up there. That's
Eddie,
insane.
I feel I listened to this in the car. I watched half of it and then I had to go somewhere, so I didn't see this part. But like, I feel emotional watching this. Like, this is the game that we want to love so much,
Yeah.
and then now look at what we're getting.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Hats off to the devs. This is impressive. This is like this makes me happy. This puts a smile on my
Yeah,
face. This is great for a person who's really like a fan of a game that hasn't been out yet. It's just on development, and seeing what the team has done with in the time that they've done, and that's what matters, right? It's building in the bear, and this
yeah,
is what you're getting, and they're preparing for it, and it's you can see it in what this is. This is impressive. If you haven't seen Kopi Cafe, what's this, episode 91, I think?
yeah.
Kopi Cafe 91, the most recent. Jesus, this is amazing. This is a great episode. I was so pumped. I would watch this episode again. I'll probably do it again, and while I'm at work, like I'm just gonna be watching this, like while
I mean,
working.
I'm almost
That was so
tempted to
cool.
just replay the clip so we can talk about it more for the whole episode. I mean, like, you know what?
How
There's some.
Yeah,
Oh,
how
go ahead.
it goes the question, how much of this video can we use?
Yeah, right. I
This
don't.
is just
If
really
they
good.
get mad, I'll tell you what. If they're mad at us for like using half their Kopi Cafe, they shouldn't have made it so awesome. Because like, how could we on a day like today? How could we play in Toledo Valley and go do racing? Because this is just like just awe inspiring.
Yeah, like I'm gonna.
I tell you what, when the bull market is like in full effect and content creators are out there and they're looking for something to talk about, they're looking for something to draw in people to pay attention to their YouTube channel. Why on earth would you not do a cornucopias video once a week when you can show this, when you can make thumbnails of this, when you can talk about this world? And I'll tell you what, if to the content creators that were questioning whether or not Cornucopias is actually a AAA rated game, I beg them to come look at this right now and doubt it. Doubt it for 1 second that this is anything other than one of the best, if not the best game being developed right now in all of Web3. Because you can't compare this to anything.
Oh, I agree. This is they're doing something that hasn't been done, and that interview that I don't know if you saw it on Kopi. They shared it on Kopi on the Cornucopias Discord. They shared the interview um, in the spotlight, I believe, in the spotlight channel, I believe it was with
Mm-hmm.
Block Fuel. Did you see that interview?
Was it a Spaces, a Twitter Spaces?
Yeah. Actually, no. It was like it was a podcast. It was like a
Then
a
I
video.
listened to the Twitter Spaces. I miss, but I'm gonna have to go back and check out that one.
Yeah, and
Uh,
this one it was in that. I think that, trust me, there's a lot of good stuff into that. I feel like a lot of people need to go back to, again, in the spotlight, go to Block Fuel and check out that interview. Probably, actually, I would probably even link it in the description, to be honest, just because it was
yeah,
really
I'll put a link in the
filled with
description.
information
Yeah.
of a lot of stuff that Josh reveals. And I
Oh,
was like, oh man,
well, I'm
that's
gonna go watch it for
so
next week's
yeah,
episode. Then
100%.
I'm sorry I missed it.
It's
Little,
just really nice little
yeah,
stuff here and there, little tidbits that he mentions, and I mean, again, he's thinking like minded with what we always talk about. I mean, that the the potential for growth for things that haven't been invented yet in this game is it's
Yeah.
all on the table, and that's what's great about this particular game. Anything can happen. Um, has a creative mind, and I'm glad he's the creative director. I mean, this is fantastic. I
I mean,
can't
this
wait
is
to say
beyond
exploring.
what anyone. Yeah, one thing that caught me like by surprise was Josh. He didn't use these words, but he this is basically what he said is that this is only like a first draft. There's so much more that they're going to be adding to this, improving to this. I don't know if that was in term, but he means in terms of like NPCs and like uh places to like go and see and do things, or if he actually means that they're going to improve even just the way it looks, or even like, because if this is just an early draft, that there's still a lot more to come. Like, oh wow, I
Hmm.
mean, it's just,
Yeah, I mean, they're just as picky as we are, though. That's the thing too, right? So they
yeah.
want to make sure that everything is perfect. They don't want any glitches, any mishaps, and hey, that's I triple check everything. I don't care. I mean, it just looks amazing already. And one question that I want to bring up is one question that they brought up at the end of their Kopi Cafe was, in terms of the land plots and searching for stuff, right? Because obviously they're going to be
Oh,
having some
Eddie,
sort
look
of
at this.
yeah.
I know, but I mean, look. I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's just this like little clearing. Put your land plot right here.
Right, and that's again, this is where would the land plot be, right? Probably right there, like a little small one
Yeah.
right there.
What was the question though that you were about
Uh,
to bring up?
yeah, the question again that they brought up was,
Yeah.
that David brought up was like, how long should people be able to,
Oh yeah.
research and look around before they actually start going for the, claiming their land plots?
I like 2 months. I mean,
You think 2 months?
I think so. I mean, because I actually was wondering when I was listening to that, and this is the question for our viewers:
Hmm.
is how can we, me and Eddie, be of service to you guys in helping you um, view the world and find and come up with a strategy to for your land grab? Because if it's going to be impossible for any person to like go from anywhere to anywhere and really study the whole map, which it seems like it probably will be. Maybe it wouldn't be if we had 2 months and you spend like an hour or two a day doing it, but like I want to try to be of service somehow to the community and help you know strategize. Oh, that's like the sad that that came to an end just there, but or
No, this is I think this is the third one. I thought,
yeah.
I can't remember. We have
Oh,
a
they
meeting,
yeah, they're
so
saying Solace one down in the bottom right. So
it's one.
yeah. So, but I would lean towards 2 months. I think you have this kind of amazing presentation. I think it take your time because it gives you an opportunity to let this settle. Like we've had Colito Valley for, I mean, a long time now. A lot of us who've been a lot, especially the early testers. 2 months seems completely reasonable, based on how much there is to see and do. I God, look. I mean, even Solace. I mean, Solace one is, I think, the furthest along. Look at this, so wild. But my preference would be 2 months because you've invested a lot of money. Some of us who have you know legitimately invested thousands of dollars in the secondary market in NFTs, which for me, maybe to someone else that's not a big deal, but for me it is. I would like to have time to really sink into this investment because the only part of the I mean the first part of the investment is buying the deed for to be able to grab the land, but like the next part is actually choosing the land, and that's probably the most important part of your investment. So for those of us who bought, you know 30, 40, 50 uh, land NFTs, we really want to be able to get out there and look and build up spreadsheets and compare our data with other people. I think longer is better.
Yeah, and they also have like this image that you could probably put up on the screen here. It's the influence sphere, influence spheres that we have to consider as well, right? In terms of, it says that there's going to be land events like weather events, rogue players, wild animals, hostile NPCs, and world events. Then at the bottom it says your influence spheres. Each land plot is equipped with a defense mechanism which creates a safe zone around it. The safe zone automatically gets larger with land activity. A district with a large safe zone may attract more settlers. Influence spheres can merge together, creating large safe zones for other players. The influence
Mhm.
spheres reduces the effect of the environment, but doesn't eliminate it completely. Surrounding areas gain extra protection, making activities outside the land plots safer. For example, fishing in nearby rivers, and then they have like the districts, the different zones, and you can kind of see in that image where it's all like different green, different safe zones. So that's also going to have to come into play. So the more activity that people start seeing more, I think that's kind of how to determine where the economy is going to be going as well. It's like where these safe zones are going to be like stronger, versus like if you go to a place that has like in that image it shows like a 20% protection for safe zones for people like that are in that area. So like you could get mauled by like a mountain lion for all like so that's going to be interesting as well, and what's going to be playing, because it's also not just about the aesthetics, it's about how safe you are. And also you have to think about like if you are going to start opening up a shop, right, some sort of crafting station like a blacksmith station, you have to also consider the transportation of getting stuff to certain areas, right? I'm curious how that works as well, because
Well, there
it
was
is
talk of
a
a
aid
of
station.
a transportation vehicle mint coming at some point, right?
Well, yeah, but they're also, the one thing that they brought up in this video was in Kopi Cafe was the whole system of going to the central station and then you being able to go to the different like 9 different stations in Solace or 1, 2, and 3. So again, it's all just coming. It's all, I'm trying to piece it all together, trying to understand how all this is trying to work. But of course, there's more to come, which is it's exciting the more that they start leaking stuff, and I'm glad that they did. This is a really huge, because it just pumps me up. It makes me more confident with what they're building.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't just can't have nothing to show for it, right? They just say, "Hey, we promise we're going to give you this and that." I'm sorry, but I feel like land plots are so undervalued. I still believe that now. But yeah, I mean, we have a few images to share, right?
Oh yeah. So I mean, we were talking about land plots last episode, um, and I wasn't. We weren't ready to talk about the USD's value of it, but we in our research today, everything but copious is for commons is roughly 50% discount to the mint price in USD. So if right now, if you go put on your dollars, you deposit dollars into ADA, then you are buying anything from small to epic at a 50% discount. Now the copious is at like a 300% premium, but that I mean you see that too with the myth. I mean the mythics are really expensive. Not surprising that the
Yeah.
copious are. I think the copious plots went for $1,000, and now you can. But that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if you went on there and you put a bid in for like 1,200 USD if someone was just exhausted and finally gave in. Like
Hmm.
you can always try to put in that's still above the mint price, but
Yeah.
those prices are super attractive right now to the point where even I, who thought I was done buying NFTs, am considering depositing dollars to go buy some. Yes.
Yeah, in terms of US, smalls, USD pricing, small plots were 102 is when they minted. And they minted between June 3rd and June 7th, excuse me, of last year. And
So wait, it was a year ago. It was 2023 they minted these.
oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm actually wrong on the
I
year.
think it was,
Was it 2 years ago?
I think it had to have been in 2022
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
because
You're right.
you and I were both here in 2023.
100%.
Yeah,
Time flies.
yeah.
And then so medium plots. Whoops, I switched the medium plots. 210 USD. Let's see, large plots. Which actually, let's compare that to what it's at now, right? So it's the mint for medium plots was 210 USD. Right now they're going for $79 right now. Medium plots. Let's see, going back one. Let's go back to the smalls. Compare that pricing. So we got smalls at 137 ADA in USD. That is $59, and they minted at $102 USD. Large plots 310 USD, and they are currently at 155. So 310 is the mint price, and now they're at 155 USD.
There's a large land plot for $155, and the mint price was the mint price was 300 what?
310 for a large land plot. It was a mint.
My God.
Yeah. And then going into epics, which I just bought 2 of them, by the way, just because I'm so bullish recently.
Yeah.
I bought 2 commons just because, like, I mean, I'm sorry, it's like two common epics, and this is because of the large, like, going back to the when I actually, let's keep going actually in terms of the prices, but I'll go back as to why I bought the epics. So $344 in USD is the current price for an epic common, and they mint it at 650 USD.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's roughly they're all about a 40% discount from the mint price.
Okay.
It's wild.
And then and this is where, like, I feel like that's why epics are like the way to go. Then we go to Copious. The lowest price right now for a Copious is in USD is 3,093. Right? 3,093 USD. They mint it at 1,000 USD.
Yeah.
So they've gone up for sure. People see the value in the size, the sheer size. I mean, because every time you go, and going back to the imagery that we're going to share here is just this is Cornucopius's own imagery of the sizes of the land plots, but you can see that. Yeah, you can see that it's almost practically double, except for like the small to medium, I guess. But you practically double from large to epic, and then to copious. It just kind of doubles in sort of square footage almost, it feels like. Yeah, so 384 to 864 square meters, 1,500, 3,400, 6,100. So epic, and for you to be able to hold, and again, like going back to the image of all of the different levels of the woodworking station, like you can kind of see that image there, where you can kind of see the progression of the small little workmanship you get down to like a full desk, like an L-shaped desk, down to your first like cabin of it, and then you kind of make it into a big factory. Well, you won't be able to fit a big factory right into a small plot. There's just no way, you can't do that. So that's why I secured epics, because I feel like those large can fit, a large land plot can fit,
but it's like all it's gonna fit.
But it's then your rest of your real estate, you can't do anything with it. So like at least with an epic, I think I'm getting value there to use some of the real estate and land to cultivate whatever I'm working on. So that's why I bought 2 Copious.
Eddie, let's like talk a little bit about land grab strategies, and because there was something interesting that David brought up in the Copy Cafe today about how some land plots are going to be kind of out there in the world, that they're going to be far away from everything. And I was wondering what your thoughts are on, do you think that those land plots are going to be more of a premium because there's fewer of them? Do you think that they automatically are going to be able to be grabbed by like legendaries and mythics? Do you even want to own most of them? If you only had like 5 land plots, which would you choose? Would you choose to stay close to the cities, or would you try to get as many of them out there in the world as you could?
That is a good question, because I did think about that a little bit, and I think I would probably start with a populated area. I would want to start like in an area that has a lot of flow, because I mean, if I'm in this to try to make some copy, then yeah, I want traffic. So like I would want to be where everybody's at, where everybody's spending their copy, for certain items. I just don't see the need yet for something so secluded, I guess. I don't see the point of that. I feel like the game is going to be, you're going to be thriving out of it from people that actually are playing the game, right? Because you are the one providing the economy, right? So you're the one providing the resources that people need. So like if there's no traffic in that area, then why would you be there? That's just my thought. And then the reason so I would say that I would want to start in a populated area, and then once I build up my copia, then maybe I would want to buy that one place away from everybody. That way it's not so noisy, because but in the beginning, yeah, I'm going to want to be where everything's at, where all the action's at. If I'm going to be close to host a particular venue maybe around, then yeah, I want to go close to that because it's more convenient, right?
It's funny because I'm the total opposite. I think for me, I would rather have as many of those kind of random places out there, because I feel like in my mind, and we won't know this until we can survey the land and explore,
Mm-hmm.
but it would give you this kind of diversity of land, a diversity of opportunity, and then for those, because you know that they're not going to have any piece of land that's like irrelevant, that it's that maybe one day there's nothing going on there, but like in 3 days there's like some kind of quest or task that brings you out there. Then your piece of land is that safe haven. When, like you talked about building that bubble up of safety, well, maybe the watering hole by my piece of land is the only place in all of Solace 3 to get a certain fish that season. And so, now everybody is coming to my land plot, and they're working my land. And I would assume the way it works, that if you catch a fish on my land, then the rewards earned from that, some of it needs to be paid to me. I'm not sure that's how it's going to work, but I would assume that the more popular and used your land is, the more rewards you're going to get for it. So I think I'm in a good spot where I have enough to do a little bit of both, but I'm just thinking more of those people who have, uh, just a handful to be able to kind of bet, I think the potentially that's where the most rare resources are going to be out there, in those random desolate places.
Yeah, and that's a fair point, because we don't know where all the resources are. And now, if there is a particular resource that is very scarce, and there will be certain resources that are scarce, obviously, you have to go to the peak of a mountain to grab this one flower, right? I don't know, right? And that just
Yeah.
proves that you are a worthy warrior, or a worthy knight. Who knows? Call him the White Knight, right? Whoever makes it to the top of that particular mountain and presents that flower. I don't know, but it's just like it's interesting. Let's see. I was actually just thinking of something else too, in terms of like what they said in that video, not just about choosing. What was it? I'm drawing a blank now. Actually,
Sorry, I can edit
I can't
all the
remember.
meandering about. When you get it, just say it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I was just thinking about it too while you were talking, because you had triggered something. Oh man, I'm not losing it, because I was like thinking. I was like, oh shit, we should bring that up. Because it wasn't the question. We talked about the question. Talked about. Oh, they did the pools. The pools for the nodes. They talked about that also as well.
Okay. Oh yeah,
We don't have to go into too big a depth and details on that,
yeah.
but how do we even segue? Because we're mainly talking about the land here. I don't want to talk too much about the nodes, honestly. To be honest,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think let's just keep it in our back pocket for the next episode.
okay.
And because I think like a lot of the Kopi cafes have been kind of like, lack, like not really great for content for us. So that we can talk about those pools and in the next episode.
Yeah,
And then we'll just, because we're at 42 minutes right now. It's probably about 30
yeah.
minutes of
I would
actual.
cut out a lot for sure. Like,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm gonna keep all the 100% of the
yeah,
video of us watching, and then and then probably half of the conversation. I mean, of the strategy. I mean, I think when we were actually talking about the strategy, I think all of it is probably worthy of being in there.
okay,
And then just the meandering, like what are we doing?
okay,
I'll cut out, and then um let's just come up here and stand up here, and I can I'll find a way to cut to this, and
yeah,
then I'll just be like, and I'll do our exit, and then
yeah,
that'll be it.
yeah,
Ready?
yeah. I do want to bring one thing up as well.
Yeah. Well, you want me to do you want to do it in closing thoughts?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, all right, cool. All right, let me bring up my thing for the. All right. All right, Eddie. I think we're trying to have a more streamlined, a more efficient kind of podcast here, talking about all the cool stuff. And
I'm so
I
pumped.
think, yeah, I mean, I probably want to spend the next 5 podcasts talking about Solace. So we can definitely enjoy what we had to see today, and we have a lot more to talk about it next episode. But for right now, do you have any like closing thoughts that you want to lay on the people?
Yeah, it just makes you think, right? We're just while we're walking through Solace, and obviously I see a little bit of a pump going into the land plots right now. So there's a little bit of a land grab rush going on right now, I think, with all the news and the hype on it. But as you started, as towards the end of the Kopi Cafe, Josh did bring up the fact that, or like he was also kind of wondering as well what I kind of was said in the uh, last episode that we did last week, was about how many people are going to be participating, because like what's the strategy, because in terms of
Yeah.
do you want to save. I mean, I have 3 epic land plots total, and I'm curious like how I'm going to divide that. Should I buy, is it going to be, because there's going to be 3 Solaces, they're all going to be different versions of it, right? There's going to be 3 Esperanzas and 3 Fortuna fortunes, right? So it's like, I don't know, like how do I divide that? Is it one for each location, or one per, in each Solace 1, Solace 2? Like I don't know. So like I'm curious how that is going to play out, and also in terms of participation as well, like in terms of how many people are actually going to be there to redeem it, and how many, the markets.
I wouldn't be
so
surprised if
crazy.
it's half the lamp. Only half of them get. I mean, would you? I wouldn't be surprised if it was 80%. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 30%. Like, because we are in a right at this moment kind of a little dark period in crypto where it's kind of boring. Not a lot of people paying attention. Fewer views on the Kopi Cafe. Like fewer views across all crypto creators, I think.
Mhm.
And so I wouldn't be if like they had the land grab tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if it was under 50%. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 90%. I mean, who he's right. You can't even begin to guess.
Yeah, and it's with everything what's going on with gaming right now, with studios closing and shutting down, and what seems that there's a detachment between the community and the gaming community, and the, let's say, I guess you would call them like the main developers, or main companies, like we're talking about Microsoft and Sony, right, in terms of PlayStation and Xbox. And it's just, this is something that it's it's never been done before, right? To this, to add Web3, a token with a game, and you own your own vehicles, you own your actual assets. It's so foreign. Like I would say, like maybe like 0.5% of the population is doing this, right? And at all, like, or even venturing this, like, and this a gaming industry is $1 billion industry, and so if you can at least,
more than that,
right, billions of dollars in industry, and if you could convert at least like 10% of the population, the world population, to kind of come into this thought process, because there are going to be more than 10%, sorry, in the population that actually agree with Web3 and gaming kind of merging, then guess what? You're entering $1 billion industry. Even if you take 10% of the margin, it's massive.
All right, Eddie and I wanted to thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. We really appreciate that. Give us some comments. Tell us what you think about the land grab, the land strategy, because this is a big deal. And for those of you who know us and are friends with us, I want to have people on. I want to get other opinions about this. So those of you out there who have some land, have some opinions, if you're interested, shoot me a message in Discord so we can get you on here and just talk land strategy, because it's time to think about that. We want to thank the Knights Guild for letting us be a part of their amazing community. Make sure to follow them on X. Use the links in the description to join their Discord and find the website, because just like the land NFTs, their guild NFTs are a huge part of your strategy too. It's like, I mean, it may even be the biggest part of your strategy, because the opportunity to diversify exists right there in those guild NFTs. You can buy the gauntlets or the shield or the helmet, and it gives you to like these pools of assets out there. So it's, a really good opportunity to diversify yourself with just one NFT. Like I said, please like and subscribe to Round of Corn Junior channel so you don't miss next week's episode, where we're probably going to just be talking about Solace. Everything is Solace all the time right now, 24/7. All right, Eddie, thanks for hanging out with me today.
Yeah, we do this for you.
Yeah, we do this. It's like,
oh,
Dega.
He's like, doing this for you.
I don't know. I don't know if you watched the whole episode because I put it in the blooper, but it was like a solid 8 minutes.
No, I saw that.
Just go Dega. Yeah. All right. So we won't repeat that, everybody. But definitely, thanks for checking us out. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, 100%.
Tune in next week.
See everybody. Actually, you know what? I need to take the bathroom.
By all means, brother.
Yeah. All right, sorry about that.
No problem.
All right, okay. So nothing's. Oh shit! Someone's talking. Okay.
This is me just talking shit about you.
Oh, it disappeared. I don't even know what it said.
It's an Eddie Z ate lead paint as a child.
Yeah, probably did.
I mean, all kids of a certain age did.